So as return to work strategies are starting to be implemented and your workforce begins to settle into this new era of normal, the landscape of employee benefits is going to change in the coming months and years. Is your organization prepared? So obviously over the past few months, things have really changed in the way we work, the expectations that employees have of employers, and even vice versa. Some of us have been working from home, others have been furloughed. Some are still working just like before, or maybe even way more. They've just been working a ton of overtime. If they're in those certain service industries like delivery people, doctors, nurses, frontline type of people. And for a lot of our friends and family, they've just been simply out of work or unemployed. So as the economy starts to ramp back up, people are really getting anxious to get back to work if they haven't been working. And this is great news for our country that has had some of its most prosperous times over the past few years. But us going back to work isn't going to look like what it did in the past. There's an evolution upon us, and employers need to be ready and willing to adapt. So employees and new job candidates are going to be putting a higher priority on their own physical, mental, and financial well-being. There's going to be new expectations for work flexibility, time, location, how they work. And a lot of the meetings in business that we used to do face-to-face is now going to still be done over those Zoom conferences, Microsoft Teams, even just going back to regular email to get things done. Business leaders need to be ready for these challenges and also be able to adapt and execute almost perfectly in these areas in order to efficiently move into this next stage of our lives. By thinking outside of traditional employee benefits and understanding what this new generation of workforce expects, your organization is going to have a real advantage to not only survive, but also thrive. So my question for you is your organization ready for what's ahead? And how prepared are you to meet the needs of your future team? Luckily at One Digital, we were kind of already set up for this remote working environment. We had a lot of tools already at our disposal. We have some employees that are already remote full time. So this adaptation was pretty seamless for us. And with that, we're able to make sure that the employers that we work with execute on these new strategies that are coming down the pipeline. Thinking about new employee benefits that their workforce wants to see, thinking about how to deploy that, thinking about how in a new, possibly digital age, that company culture and that company environment that they've worked so hard to create over the past, maybe few years, few decades, or even generations is still viable and maybe can thrive even more than ever. So think about how your organization is going to adapt to this new era. Think about the tools that you're going to need and the resources that you're going to need in order to make this a really great transition for your team to go possibly full remote or adapt to these changes ahead.